Man in the middle is the referee. Ryan Bozak and Mike Civic are the two linesmen for this game. The Vancouver Canucks, Kirk McLean in goal, was the Canucks' only representative in the recent NHL All-Star game in Pittsburgh. He was in that great goaltending duel in the playoffs a year ago with Calgary's Mike Vernon. Vancouver losing in overtime a seventh game, almost dethroning the Stanley Cup champions. Kelly Rudy and the Los Angeles Kings has missed a couple of weeks with mononucleosis. Normally it takes longer than that, but he's bounced back. Good goaltending by Ron Scott. Mario Gosselin in the meantime. But tonight, Rudy is in the nets with Gosselin as the backup man. And Rudy, as we said at the outset, unbeatable against Vancouver, 13-0 and 3 ties in his career against this Vancouver team. Although he got one win with 1 second left. One of those games you think it's meant to be, don't you?
Well, they've won a lot of games right down the last stretch if you go back into that streak. I think Kelly Rudy just is hungry to get back into the flow of things now.
Bradley against Casper on the faceoff. Kings win the draw, and it's golfed down to the Vancouver zone. So they quickly whistle it down, and Vancouver knows what it's like to get roughed up by the Montreal Canadiens. They lost their last road game 10-1 to the Habs. Tonight, Pittsburgh got a taste of that, an even worse taste, 11-1. Montreal beat Pittsburgh in a game many of you saw earlier here on Sports Channel.
Now, when you look at the Vancouver season, the type of season they're having with 18 wins, the real problem has come from within the division. They've only won 3 games in their division. That's been the Achilles heel.
Bradley, Sandak, and Smeal on the ice for Vancouver. Again, a face-off won by the Kings. Here comes Crowder. He's got Miller with him inside the line, being forced off in the far boards by former Calgary Flame Paul Reinhart. They bump and grind in there and try to freeze it. Kicking it free now is Crowder to Casper, getting it back on the right point. There is the weak shot, blocked by a maze of players in front and cleared back to the neutral zone. Here's Bradley for Vancouver now. One-on-one going in, waits for some help, gets the shot off, just shot it wide. First chance for Rudy, but Bradley couldn't find the mark, and back come the Kings. Back and forth they go in the first minute of play here in the Forum tonight. Centering pass is knocked aside by McLean. Shot right on is blocked by McLean. Now the Canucks pick it up, and Sandlak brings it back to center ice. He has got Butcher with him. Held up at the blue line, shoots it inside, delayed offside. Now it's made official, whistle down. Now the play goes right on. It's on the delay, and the Kings come up with it and finally clear the zone. So the offside is waved off, and play carries right on. Gretzky had the pass knocked away, has to go back and pick it up at his own blue line and reload. Almost floats it through to a couple of Kings waiting at the blue line, couldn't get to them. Now Larry Robinson, the veteran, bumps and falls in the corner in a confrontation there. With Larionov, the Soviet player, 1 of 2 tonight in the lineup. Krutov, the other Soviet player, is taking this game off. Thomas Sandstrom, the ex-New York Ranger, now starts to play for the Kings. Robinson getting it back to Allison. Allison shot, rebound, they score! 1-0 and a goal by Sandstrom. The ex-Ranger combines in a pretty play with Robinson and Allison.
Well, what happens here is Mike Allison again. This is they mirrored Gretzky a lot in this thing. Mirrored Gretzky, going against the grain. Get possession of the offensive blue line, cut across, and then someone goes to net. Sandstrom went to net. Robinson went to net. And Vancouver had a hard time holding people off the net. And Mike Allison very intelligently saw Thomas Sandstrom. He didn't elect to shoot the puck as much as he wanted to soft pass and make sure there's a rebound around there. And Thomas Sandstrom, the rebound came right on his stick, and he just had a wide open net. Intelligent play by Mike Allison. Here's a guy that's fighting those knee injuries for so many years. People think he's done. He's probably skating better than he ever has. He plays very intelligently both ends of the ice.
It's the 26th goal of the season for Sandstrom, and more, that trade looks a little better from the Kings side, especially with Tony Granato, that long groin injury, back in action for them and in the lineup again tonight for Los Angeles. Now the Kings clear the zone again. They break quickly. Krushelnyski has the left wing pass bounce off his skates, goes to the corner, takes a bump from Steps in there. Play carries right on. Peter Skriko with it now for the Canucks. He makes the center ice pass to Linden. Linden steps inside the line, does some fencing in there with the veteran back, some bumping and grinding, and the puck rolls loose in the corner as they all jam in after it. Here's the pass back to the point for Butcher. Plays it down to that hot corner again. Linden can't get a stick on it. Kings try to relay it off the boards and do back to the neutral zone. This is John Tonelli. The veteran gets the quick shot away, gloved and retained for a moment by McLean. Now drops it beside his net. Kings keep it in the zone, keep the heat on. Alex pass across the goal mouth there, and falling on the play was the King. Taylor, no penalty called. The fans hollering for one. Into the Los Angeles corner now behind the net. Vancouver having trouble sustaining the pressure on the Los Angeles Kings in their zone. Kings quite easily and now leisurely make an attempt to clear it. And they do. They bring it up with Tim Waters. Ortonelli makes the centering pass into the middle of the ice. Comes back for Taylor. Taylor the shot back from Robitaille, and just off the mark. Back come the Vancouver Canucks into the 4th minute of this hockey game, trailing by a goal in a game they must win to stay in playoff contention. Backhand shot, and down goes Kelly Rudy to hang on. A stoppage of play in the Los Angeles goal crease. It remains 1-0 for the Kings early on. Stay with us from the Los Angeles Forum. Getting set for the face-off in the Los Angeles zone. The Kings lead the Vancouver Canucks 1-0. Vancouver, a team with the fewest goals scored in the NHL. Only 185, even fewer than the beleaguered Quebec Nordiques, if you can believe that. Although Vancouver certainly has a better record than Quebec, they can't put the puck in the net. They will try again here now as they fail to penetrate the Los Angeles blue line. Kings stave them off right there, and the Canucks win it right back, and back they come. Circling is the veteran Smeel. Bradley with it. Here's the centering pass. Quick shot from the stick of Sandlak goes off target. And back come the Los Angeles Kings in the white jerseys. Shot down to the corner. Robitaille goes in after it. Robitaille playing his 300th National Hockey League game tonight for Los Angeles. Duchesne, he will attempt the rush. Simply lobs it back to the Vancouver corner again as we approach the 5-minute mark now of the first period. Kings in front of the Canucks by a score of 1-0. Canucks bringing it ahead. Doug Lidster, the defenseman, plays it down to the Los Angeles zone. For McSorley of Los Angeles. Again, no sustained pressure, wide open as far as the Canucks go in that Los Angeles zone. Kings have no trouble clearing, but they aren't doing that much offensively either. Gretzky's on the ice now, however. And the Kings have it cleared easily by the Canucks. Here is Adams now. Greg Adams, 23 goal scorer, tops on this Vancouver team. Puck comes back to the neutral zone. McLean way out of his net. Will get there first. Do some stick handling and make the pass off the right boards.
A few more moves like that, Chevy, they're going to move up front.
They need some offense. His pass for Sutter was taken away. Sutter back after a 5-game suspension, rejoining his team tonight. This is Gretzky circling, making things happen, makes the pass beside the net, the centering pass back for Gretzky. It was behind him, and the Canucks bring it back to center ice.
And every time Gretzky gets a possession in the offensive blue line, he starts spinning out. A defenseman's got to go at him. They can't back off because Gretzky's going to have a field day. Let the wingers, let the forwards come back, take their net deep to the net, but a defenseman's got to go right to Gretzky and stay there. It's the only way to play him.
If there is a way, I guess that's it. Here's the attempt by Linden now to center the pass. Has it shut off into the Los Angeles corner as they bump in behind Kelly Rudy. Kings the 1-0 lead now. Crowder in there digging for it. Waters giving him some help. Quinn, the ex-Pittsburgh Penguin, jamming away for the Vancouver Canucks. And now Linden comes to help out. And the official, Paul Stewart, patient as can be, waits and waits. Indeed, a big night for Montreal. They're alive and well in that Adams division, despite the great seasons Buffalo and Boston are having. A pass for Duchesne there, but the side of the net hopped over his stick, couldn't get the shot away. Again, after playing some offense, McLean plays some defense. The goalie and comes out of his net. The Kings with it now as Duchesne backpedals, being watched by Trevor Linden.
As this game unfolds, Tom, we got to see the spirit of Vancouver. As you pointed out, if they lose this one, they might just say, "Oh, how do we come back?" So this is such a big game, but they're playing with some emotion. They made that one mistake early. There's a lot of hockey left to be played, and they've got a pretty good flow of the game, but they're just going to have to find a way to get the puck behind Kelly Rudy and the LA, defensive core. And the one thing that LA is starting to do right now, they're playing a little bit more, a style of playoff hockey, a little bit more team defense throughout the ice, making a better transition into their checking game. Some people say this is team social security. Well, let's see how they respond.
Capuano makes the pass, quickly taken away from the stick of Lidster as he's about to unload, and here come the Kings. Down the right side is Crowder. Crowder makes the shot and scores! 2-0 Los Angeles.
Well, Don, there are some goals that are scored because of mistakes. Some goals that are scored that are sort of soft goals. But you can't find anything bad about this one right here. Now, this is a big shot. He picked the corner up there. Johnny Tonelli gets a very intelligent pass up. And when you start pinching and gambling at the offensive blue line, someone's got to cave in. But that was basically a one-on-one. Again, the goalkeeper, McLean's got to come out and cut that angle off. And I thought he did it pretty good. But Johnny Tonelli, again, he's having one of the years when everybody said Johnny Tonelli is done. He just keeps going to the bank, finding something else. That was a good shot, Don.
Tonelli getting his 25th goal of the season. And it's 2-0 for Los Angeles. Vic Sorley gets the assist on the play. 7:15 is the time. And the Canucks have dug themselves quite a hole now as they battle behind the Los Angeles net. That battle won for now by Mike Allison. Lead pass for Gretzky, hops over his stick, rolls to the Vancouver zone.
It's important right now. Vancouver just says, listen, we've got a lot of time left. We've got to get the next goal. This next goal is a big turning point. 2-goal games, if you look at scoring, it's always the most difficult type of lead to hold on to. And if LA can say, treat this a nothing right now and get the next one, they're going to be in the driver's seat.
Well, roller off the stick of Robitaille. McLean covers up and then sets it free. Well, especially this year, Herb, because we've seen 3- and 4-goal leads dissipate rather quickly. In fact, Detroit's made a season of. Here now is a attempt by Gretzky taken away from him, and back comes Brian Bradley. Canucks want to change on the go. Simply flip it down to the Los Angeles zone where the veteran Larry Robinson comes up with it. Lead pass out to Taylor. Los Angeles captain, perhaps in his final season with the team. Good stick check there thrown by Steve Duchesne as Vancouver's center goes down. Center just back from a major 5-game suspension. And the Canucks slowly bring it out against the wall of Kings. Meet them at the line. Play carries on. Good shift by Center there. He deflects and redirects the puck right at Rudy, however. And back come the Kings. Duchesne, the rushing defenseman, brings it inside the line with Robitaille and Taylor. Can't contain it. Now it is 2-on-1 for Vancouver. Adams left side makes the pass. Quick shot. Kelly Rudy with a big save off Paul Reinhart. It remains 2-0 Los Angeles near the midway point of the period. Well, there are the two assistant coaches, Rick Wilson and Cap Rader, filling in for Tommy Webster, who, as you saw earlier, is in the building tonight. But these two men remain in charge. The team came off a horrendous road trip, playing their 4th game of a homestand. They've dug in now for a trio of wins. Back they come to center ice, leading near the midway point of period 1, 2-0 over the Vancouver Canucks. This is Trevor Linden on the right wing, hits center ice. He's got Quinn, the ex-Penguin, has scored 10 goals in 21 games with Vancouver. Gets turned around by Crowder, and back comes Alec for Los Angeles, makes the pass at center ice. McSorley's shot deflected about 12 rows deep and out of play.
You look at Kelly Rudy. The little story about Kelly Rudy, when he's playing well early, he's going to be awful tough. And you get a look at Bob McCammon there. He's had a tough year. Now, you go back in his days in Philadelphia, very successful there. Had some good hockey clubs. So he's seen it all. He's seen the good years. He's seen the bad years. I think a couple of turning points around that 11-minute mark, and Rudy makes a great save on Rick Sutter on a tip, and then he gets Paul Reinhart, who has been the heart and soul of this Vancouver club over the last couple of years, has a great opportunity, and Rudy makes a great glove save. Now that can just get the visiting team down a little bit. It's important that they answer the bell, said, hey, we've got to get that next goal. very important turning point at this juncture of the game.
That was a save of the night off Reinhardt. He now blocks it behind his own net for Tom Laidlaw, who will test the right side. Fails to clear. Blocked by Vancouver. Stern with it. Gets the pass back. Chance in front. Gets turned around. Down goes Steve Bozak. No penalty. Play goes right on. Good defensive work there by the Los Angeles Kings. Steve Casper, center man, now works back to the center of the ice. For Crowder, flips it into the corner. He gets turned around. Down he goes. Next for Vancouver comes up with it. Now the gloves are off in front of the net, and they'll do a little boxing. Tyson and Douglas style. Jay Miller for Los Angeles is going at it. And getting much the best of it with a series of right hooks and uppercuts. That is a first-round knockdown of Ronnie Stern. So that didn't last long. With the score, Los Angeles 2 and Vancouver nothing. Well, I wonder if the Mirage in Las Vegas would offer this man the kind of money they offered Douglas this week. That was quite a boxing performance.
Well, there's no question. And Jay Miller's getting a little more ice time in L.A. right now because L.A.'s going to 4 lines. So he's finding the ice. And when he finds the ice, his emotion and his chemistry will spill over into situations like this. But you also have to say, Ronnie Stern, here's a young man trying to make this hockey club in Vancouver and maybe provide his team with that little dynamic personality that they're also looking for. He went toe-to-toe. It's not whether you win these things, it's if you show up. Ronnie Stern, he's taking a few right hands there, but he's showing up, and that helps. You're down 2-0. It's something that's got to do that we can't take any backward steps. He didn't take any backward steps, even though he took a few, on the nose.
I don't know what kind of a left Miller has. He didn't throw one. He's too busy hanging out of the jersey with the left hand and flailing away with the right. They each get 5 minutes for fighting at the 10:33 mark of this first period. The Kings lead the Vancouver Canucks by a score of 2-0.
And I talked about the fact that L.A. is just shifting their gears, shifting their philosophies a little bit more. They're saying that, can we get into third place? Can we move up higher? I don't know. But they might sort of accept their fourth place status, go to a 1-2-3-4 rotation amongst their forwards, use their bench a little bit more, maybe save number 99. That's Wayne Gretzky we're looking there. He doesn't need any more scoring titles. He doesn't need any more trophies. He's the man. But they've got to have as much of a cohesive, fresh unit as possible because those playoffs are right around the corner.
Won't be long now. Robinson has to wait. His trapped teammate Sandstrom, who's one of the 2 Kings goals, gets back on side tonight. Now, Gretzky with Sandstrom, they force it inside the blue line. Allison keeps it there. Allison fades with a pass to Gretzky. His centering pass for Sandstrom. He got bumped off the puck at the side of the net. Then gets taken down. Can't make the centering pass. And the Canucks come up and away with it now with Bradley carrying it out. Makes the pass ahead as they hit the blue line. And quickly cleared back for Gretzky. Gretzky with Sandstrom. 2-on-1 they come. Gretzky getting set. Takes the pass back instead for Allison, and here's a great chance for Duchesne. Just blocked in front of the goal. Slap shot from the point, blocked and through in the pads of Kirk McLean. So more problems for the Vancouver Canucks on that series of action.
Neutral zone is really causing Vancouver a lot of problems. They're not making a good read at the offensive blue line. And when they lose the puck, again, too many guys are leaning in the offensive way and not picking up their checks. They've got to do a little bit more picking and interference without drawing penalties to keep the speedy LA forwards, off their full skating stride, because they are starting to find themselves in manpower situations where it's in a disadvantage type of situation. And if this continues, they're going to find themselves giving up too many key shots. And again, it's that how you read the plays in the neutral zone, how quickly you're going to jump into your checking game there. Again, they got 3 forwards going the other way. Their defense is starting to go against the grain there, causing some 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 situations with a forward filling in. So that's got to be cleaned up if they're going to get in this ballgame.
Well, they've been a dreadful road team of late. They've lost their last 2 games. They got bombed by Vancouver, by Montreal 10-1 last time around in the Montreal Forum. And simply the defensive numbers do not even begin to correspond on the road with the numbers in Vancouver. Simply just don't play that well away from home. Not playing so far very well tonight here in Los Angeles. Beck fails to trap it, so the Kings will backpedal and reorganize now. As we come up to about the 12-minute mark of the period, the puck goes over the boards, now to play.
Well, you look at Marty McSorley, this is a guy that you've got to like. He came up with sort of the quote-unquote tag of just an enforcer, if you want to say, with his time in Edmonton. But with his attitude and his work ethic, has really developed into a fine hockey player. Here's an interesting guy, Greg Adams, that, he's had some pretty good years throughout the league in Washington, but he's having a banner year there with 23 goals, 14 assists, 37 points, on a team that hasn't scored a lot.
Not a lot at all. He is by far the top goal scorer for this Vancouver team. Although Quinn now, with part of his totals with Pittsburgh before the trade, is trying to catch up with him. And Paul Stewart's going to go to work here and open the penalty box door for the first time tonight and admit Vancouver's Larry Milnick. Milnick is an 0 for 62 streak. He is a defenseman. Nonetheless, he has not scored in 62 hockey games this season.
This guy comes to play for you all the time. He can really build that void that you need, and they're having some problems in their defensive core. They only got 6 guys right now. They've had a few guys banged up going back to Adams. It's one of those things, you get a mindset, you think of Greg C. Adams, then the other Adams, this Greg Adams is number 8. There's a guy that wasn't even drafted, went to Northern Arizona University, of all places, led the NCAA, and found himself as a free agent. And again, has signed a nice contract in New Jersey and has developed quite a hockey player.
Melnick and Granato of the Kings offsetting minor penalties for slashing at 11:45, and they have a stoppage of play again in the Angeles zone. And another penalty is coming up. With the score, Los Angeles 2 and Vancouver nothing. Let us pause for a regional break. Another ex-Edmonton Oiler, Mike Krushelnyski, gets 2 minutes for clipping at 11:59. So now the odd man advantage will shift to the Vancouver Canucks, who unfortunately haven't done very much with a power play. They rank 19th in the NHL. They are 21st, dead last in killing penalties, indicative of this team's woes this season. Let's see what they can do here on this extra man advantage. Bradley over on the far boards with it. As they carefully and methodically work it back to Bradley. Fakes the shot, digs it back for Nordmark. To a maze of players redirected off target by Kelly Rudy. Now Bradley again over on the far slot. He's got Reinhart, gets it to him, gets the shot away. Tried to be tipped to the side by Larionov, couldn't redirect it on goal. Canucks maintain the pressure now with Reinhart's shot blocked in front, still bouncing free and back to the neutral zone. A minute and 20 left in Krushelnyski's penalty for tripping. Now Nordmark. He's just 1 goal this season, gets it right on Rudy, makes the save, and quickly cleared to the line, but not out, kept in by Larionov. The stylish Soviet player from Kiev passes it off to Reinhart, back to Larionov, gets it across to the point man Nordmark. He's forced to shoot it wide down to the corner for Bradley. And intercepted by Casper, and the Kings come away with it to kill more penalty time with 49 seconds left now in the infraction. Gretzky is on the ice down in the Los Angeles or Vancouver corner as the Canucks bring it back now and form up very slowly that power play.
Now you talked about Vancouver's power play. It's not for the lack of talent, because they got some pretty skilled people out there, but when you look at those stats, 19th overall, something has gone astray for them.
Linden couldn't contain it. Shot down the ice by the Kings. Now just 23 seconds left on the penalty. 2-0 LA with about 6 minutes to go in the opening period here in the Forum. And we're watching Sandstrom, the ex-Ranger, up to Gretzky, do a nice job of killing off the remaining seconds. Just 3 seconds left now in the sentence. Now Krushelnyski steps back on the ice as the shot is made. Rebound comes out. Robinson gets it away. Taken off into the far corner by Linden as they poke away at it there. Jamming along the boards. The Canucks try to come up with it. And the Kings get there first. Robinson starts it off to Gretzky with Krushelnyski back in the penalty. Sandstrom couldn't get the shot away. Butcher blocked him in front. Try to center the pass out. They bang away. Still loose in the Vancouver zone and kept in there by Larry Robinson. Canucks having a terrible time in clearing the puck again in this sequence. Sandstrom with it now, gets it across to Gretzky. Gets the shot. Point blank, short side, taken down and behind the net, and Vancouver clears to center ice. Coming up to the 15-minute mark of the opening period, Marty McSorley to Barry Beck. with Taylor now and Robitaille as they chase after it. Dangerous rebound there by the side of McLean. Taylor with it, can't make the pass, leaves it behind the net instead. Gretzky getting turned around, taken down, penalty indicated here. Shot by Beck from the point is off target. McLean clears it himself over in the far boards, and that'll bring him out the whistle on the penalty that saw Wayne Gretzky hit the ice. Still 2-0 for the Kings over the Canucks. Stay with us from Los Angeles. You're looking at Doug Lidster off for 2 minutes for taking Wayne Gretzky down at 15:09.
Dougie Lidster, former Canadian Olympian, has got a little one-on-one situation down deep, but Vancouver likes to play a man-for-man down deep, and that case was Garth Busher on Wayne Gretzky. So as I said, it's a 3-on-3, man-for-man down deep, and when the other team is moving their legs, you can draw a penalty such as that. Doug Lidster was on his man, but he couldn't quite contain the enthusiasm of the LA forward.
And it smacked of frustration the way he pushed him down and took the unnecessary 2-minute penalty. So the Kings now got the power play underway. They are number 7 in the league in that department. Let's see what they can do against the Vancouver Canucks. Duchesne makes the pass to McSorley. McSorley's shot. Rebound bouncing around. Robitaille lets it roll to Elick in the corner. Elick back to the point man. No chance for a good shot there, and the Canucks simply clear it down the ice.
The thing that LA is starting to do, when they start to spread that power play work out there, you don't see number 99 out there. They're going to try to develop 2 units again. Why are they doing that? To get ready for the playoffs.
Here's Elick cruising in front. They can't get it to him. It rolls in behind the net. An attempted clearing made by Stan Spiel. The veteran gets it down inside the Kings line.
I think there's too much. They've overused Gretzky at time, and I think the LA coaches are coming up with a good game plan. Just use him in a regular shift right now. Again, try to keep his legs under him. And Gretzky was maybe a little tired in January, but since then, in the month of February, he's got that little snapback.
Elick feeds it in the corner for Krushelnyski. They can't contain it again. The Canucks doing a decent job this time of killing off this penalty to Doug Lidster. Here's Gretzky's pass to Sandstrom. He is one of the 2 Los Angeles goals tonight. McLean intercepts it in behind. Clears off to the far side. Gretzky in the corner with it now. Makes the play back to the point man. They do not get it over. Now they do to Duchesne. Winding for the shot. Back in front. Quick shot block. Rebound coming out. Still loose and still inside the Vancouver zone. Kings buzzing all around. Sandstrom now in the far face-off circle. In behind for Gretzky. Back for Sandstrom. Out for Steve Duchesne. Makes a nice move. Gets a little closer. Makes his pass for Gretzky. Hopped over his stick in behind. Centering pass. Quick shot to Duchesne. On Gretzky's stick again. Tries to feed it to a maze of players. Couldn't get it through. Now Robinson keeps it alive for Duchesne. Hops over Gretzky's stick once again. Steps in the corner. Gives it back to Gretzky. Gretzky sailing in behind. Circling in front now. Makes the pass out. Duchesne scores. 3-0 Los Angeles.
The people away from the puck are always a dangerous one. Obviously, you're killing a penalty. If someone's going to be open, it's Duchesne, and he just penetrates into this guy again. Reads Gretzky very well. This is Gretzky's office right here behind the goal line. Nobody in the league plays that little area back there better than Gretzky. He's got the look. Someone's got to go to him right now. And with his speed and anticipation, he's always coming up with something. Just watch him move again. The key thing is watch people go around him. Try to play off him. And again, how he uses that behind the net. He waits everybody to cave in and says, now I wait for my defenseman, and he's looking for Duchesne all the time. Duchesne has a good chemistry with Gretzky. He penetrates, high slot. It's a nice step pass from Gretzky and just drills it in a screen.
You talk about that office of Gretzky's. It appears as though nobody is admitted without a previous appointment. He has it all to himself back in there.
Well, the league is going to move the goal line up there a little bit. I think it's a good move because you're going to see a little bit more flow in the game.
This is Trevor Linden now for Vancouver in a deep hole, down 3-0. Can't sustain the play. Now they get a chance. And it goes in. A shot, a quick shot by Steve Bozak. Vancouver's on the board.
You know, quick thing when you look at Vancouver, there's just nothing is going right for them. There are very few things this year. It's the motion on the bench. As soon as they scored, I looked right to the bench. The bench jumped up. They felt good about it. So maybe there's that life there. And again, that's a big goal by Steve Bozak, guy they got from Calgary not too long ago, coming right back to negate that third goal, because if the time goes against them and they get into that in between the intermission, they think 3 goals down. But again, Bozak, nice play again, little turnaround. Little wrist shot. Again, people going to net. Vancouver coaches were talking this morning. They don't have their forwards going to net, and that's what made the play. Going to the net, setting up a screen, causing the LA defenseman to take him out of there. Again, that puck had eyes.
Tonelli failed to contain his man and clear the puck, and as a result, Bozak became the opportunist, like you said, with eyes past Rudy, with no chance for him on that one. So it's 3-1 now for the Kings. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first period. There's a shot on goal, redirected by McLean. Back to center ice come the Vancouver Canucks. Linden gets the assist on the play, and there's a hard chance for Rudy there. It gets just deflected wide. About 1:35 to go in the first period. Casper with it. Brings it inside the Vancouver zone. Centering pass in front. Nobody could get to it. Kings now with a 2-goal lead. Working for it down on the corner. Crowder gets taken down in front by Vancouver's Lariata. No penalty called on the play. They do, though, whistle it down on the puck being frozen in the corner.
Again, Steve Bozak. Very important goal. Again, the time of the period is just a couple minutes left when he scores. If they have to go into that period and look at that thing, it's 3 goals down on the road. The type of season they're having have been tough. Come right back again, puts them back in this game. Again, I see the enthusiasm there in the Vancouver bench. I see the enthusiasm this morning at their morning skate. I see the enthusiasm of the coaching staff. So they're not throwing in the towel. They've been beleaguered. They've had their problems. Teams go through it. There's no question about it. Detroit's gone through it, but Detroit's starting to come back a little bit. We talked about LA and their minus 500 thing. They're starting to come back. A lot of pride in these athletes in, this league. And it's just as Bob McCammon said, they've lost a lot of one-goal hockey games, and if they can maintain that spirit over the last 5-6 weeks, they got to build on. They're playing for a lot of pride right now, and that's the message of Harold Sneps as he finishes his career.
Well, it's been an embarrassing time for them, too. A Vancouver newspaper, as they bring it out now, with Stan Smeal, is offering, the smart aleck kind of contest with 2 tickets as first prize to a Canucks game, 4 tickets as second prize, 6 as third prize. But yet they're drawing very well. The fans are turning out in big numbers to support this last place team.
Oh, yeah, now they're talking about some Chinese family buying the Canucks. The family to win one soon, I guess that they said it was the family to win one soon.
Anytime soon will do. Thank you very much. Here's Sandstrom now with a chance. He gets turned off the puck. Again, the Canucks having trouble clearing. They keep it in play. Gretzky almost got a free pass to the goal mouth, but has to fight for it back in the corner. As they bring it up to near boards, Robinson, good stiff check there on the Canucks stand. Smear coming up. He leveled him. Rudy playing forward, makes the long pass and winds up all the way inside the blue line of the Canucks with now 15 seconds to go on the opening period.
Vancouver likes to play it, as I said, a man-for-man down deep. And again, that weak side defenseman better be a little closer to the net and cover in case something breaks down. You can't say, well, I got my man, and if it breaks down, they got a clear thing to the net. And we saw Gretzky escape his check, that little soft, deft pass. If he would have had that one alone, it's all over.
Well, Smear getting up slowly. He was taken down heavily. Looks like the Kings are going to get nailed here for a charging penalty. And Smear himself may be heading for the box as well. Well, here we are on the Forum on a beautiful night. Almost too nice for hockey here in Southern California.
It's never too nice for hockey, Chevy. Come on.
Almost, I say.
Come on.
About 85 degrees today. And tonight again, this sellout crowd here at the Forum. We're going to talk about it later, but this is the actual 10th anniversary of the day you coached that U.S. Olympic team to the gold medal, which I know you're a little shy about it, but big moment in American sports history. Not the date of beating the Soviets, but of clinching the gold medal against Finland 10 years ago today at the Lake Placid Arena.
Now we talk about Murphy's Law. Well, we'll come back to that in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We'll have much more time later, and the Canucks will, too, to catch up. But right now they trail the Kings after 1 by a score of 3-1 in Los Angeles. Play just underway in the second period. The Los Angeles Kings, the power play opportunity. Stan Smeal getting a charging penalty with 3 seconds left in the opening period. So now still 1 minute and 33 seconds left for the Kings to mount something here. Awfully important for Vancouver to hold them right here, get back in this game, Herb.
Well, they have to. They can't get down by 3. And the first 5 minutes of this period are going to be crucial for them.
They were down by 3. Bozak got it back at 17:55 of that first period. Now Duchesne awaits the pass, which never comes. Fed by Taylor on the left side to Gretzky. Gretzky again, the master of the corner and certainly behind the net. Tries to float it back to Duchesne on the point. Can't get it to, but the Kings maintain control. Pass Sandstrom, who goes into the corner against Snapsport. Cleared by McLean up the near boards, but not out. Held in from the point. Now for Vancouver, Lidster gets it out to center ice. This is Rich Sutter with it. Sutter makes the pass back inside the blue line now as they try to kill off some time. Steve Bozak with it. And now for the Kings, Larry Robinson. Still 41 seconds to go in Smear's penalty. Back for Gretzky. Gretzky feeds it across the ice for Duchesne. Floats it down beside the net. Now Sandstrom in behind. Bats away at it. Finally gets control. Being held in there by the stick in the corner. Comes back to Steve Duchesne. Cross to the far side, back for Sandstrom. Sandstrom had it bounce around a bit too long. Gets a second chance with it. Feeds it back on that point again for Steve Duchesne. Passes it through for Gretzky beside the goal. Robitaille in front. Sandstrom couldn't get a shot away. But still in the zone, at the blue line, it is brought out with 5 seconds to go on the Vancouver penalties, and the Canucks have succeeded in killing this one off, despite the fact they are the worst penalty-killing team in the NHL. Look pretty good right there. This is Strico with it now. Can't keep it in. Gretzky has it at the Vancouver blue line with Robitaille. And McSorley now joining in the play. Gretzky swings away from his man Smeal. Brings it right down beside the goal. And it comes to the far side for Taylor. He bumps and goes down on a pile in there against Smeal. Beck tries to keep it in play. Being watched there by Dan Quinn. Now the Canucks have it to the line. Finally back to center ice. 2.5 gone here in this period. Still 3-1 for the Kings over the Canucks.
They accomplished the first goal to kill a penalty. Now let's see if they can get on the board here in the next 3-4 minutes.
Alec waits for some help. Brings it inside the line. And is checked from behind. Keeps the pressure on. The bouncing puck in front. Down goes McLean. Rebound. Robitaille. McLean keeps it out. Very close right there, but it's still 3-1 for the Los Angeles Kings over Vancouver. There is actor Tom Hanks. Must be a hat collector. That's a rare one. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team, managed at one time by Sparky Anderson. That goes back to the 1960s, that hat.
Oh, Chevy, like a lot of people, I like hats, and I'd like to find where I could get one of those.
You like one of those, huh?
Yeah.
They are rare indeed.
Can you get me one?
Tom Hanks might be able to. He's got one for himself.
Well, let's go see it.
Have to get past that big dog of his on that last movie, Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
It was funny. All right, for the Kings now with the 3-1 lead. Approaching the 4-minute mark of this first period now. Here is a chance. Hard shot, right side, turned away. Granato, the former New York Ranger, got his best scoring chance of the night right there. He came to this team, then missed the bulk of games since arriving in the trade for Bernie Nichols with a lingering groin injury. Looks to be in good shape right now. Canucks again having trouble in clearing. Working up the near boards and do get it back to center ice.
Tony Granato got some good wood on that. He lost his glove in the neutral zone, and he got a good shot off. McLean just got his catcher, and then it hit the inside pipe there. Maybe should think about playing without his glove the way he pulled the trigger on that one.
Well, he had a great year last year, and they say that he's too small and maybe not durable enough to come back with that kind of play in the future. Time will tell, but the Kings are very high on him.
Well, I can't buy that thing. And again, this, is played on ice, no question. He's small of stature and everything else. There's that hat of mine. How am I going to get that thing from him, Chevy? Huh?
Won't be easy.
I'll find a way. Huh? We're going to find a way on that thing. I've never seen one like that. Big maple leaf, I'm telling you, what a great symbol that is.
The International Baseball League, they were. Here is Miller now, the winner of a quick first-round knockout earlier. Making the pass across the ice. And away they go, 2-on-1 inside the line. Now Casper makes the pass back for him. Couldn't get it to him from the stick of Jay Miller. Kings, the great chance for a fourth goal right there. Here is Sandlak for the Canucks, bringing it in. Makes his pass right in front. Great scoring chance there for Greg Adams with 23 already. Failed to poke it in.
One thing with L.A., going to 4 lines, getting everybody involved on the bench. You've got good spirit. You've got good cohesiveness.
Here comes Crowder, cruising down the right wing. Stock shoots, rebound, is golfed down the ice out of harm's way by Vancouver's Rich Sutter.
Everybody feels involved in LA's bench right now. They're not just sitting there and waiting for someone else to do it. I think it's a good move to go to that rotation and develop that whole bench at this stage of the season.
Kept in play by the Canucks, Loriana, who was such a stylish player, a smooth skating player in his years at the Soviet Union. But I guess the constant contact has made a big difference to his play. He has just 14 goals for Vancouver in his NHL rookie season. Stoppage in play now. Just under 5 minutes gone here in the second period. 3-1 for the Kings. Well, there is the Saddle Dome in Calgary, site of the '88 Olympics, and Herb Brooks, with that '80 victory being commemorated today, will be there tomorrow night for the Edmonton Oilers and Calgary Flames, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, over many of these Sports Channel outlets. It'll be a big game in this very tough Smythe division at the top for first place. A division that's getting harder to figure when teams like Toronto get waxed by Calgary 12-2 and come back and beat Edmonton the next night, as was the case last night, 6-5. Quick shot just goes wide off the stick of Peter Screentime. Here's Gretzky now, waiting on the near boards. Feeds McSorley, back for the great one, makes a perfect pass in front. The plane goes down, rebound by Gretzky, and he just missed putting it in.
Gretzky looked to the stars of that one. He said, how did I do that? He had that in the ocean, and he missed them both.
Something he doesn't do that often. Here's a great chance now for Screentime as he got past Gretzky. Rebound coming out for Vancouver. Butcher makes the play. They score. It is shot in by Dan Quinn.
Danny Quinn, I tell you, just redirected a very intelligent pass by Garth Butcher. And Peter Screentime came down the left side, and he just drilled it. This guy can play, and the rebound ran all the way out to Butcher. He had enough presence to see Quinn break his check there. He broke Robitaille, and again, he didn't shoot it as much as he redirected. And again, what happened? L.A. got a little lax in that zone. Danny Quinn, and this guy can fly. Just broke his check. Found himself in the low slot, wide open. Kelly Rudy had no chance to regain his balance to get that half pass, half shot.
Suddenly the Canucks right back in this one, down by a goal. They were down 3-0 for Quinn. That is his 20th goal of the year, his 11th in 22 games as a Vancouver Canucks since coming from Pittsburgh in the trade of January the 8th. So the Canucks, you saw the spirit after the first goal of the bench here, Brooks, certainly indeed have not given up. This team is all fired up right now to get back into it.
Well, I watched their skate this morning, and I just looked at their coaches. They had a positive attitude out there. They're not giving anybody, any days off, that type of thing. But they said if they just come with a long pace, it's going to carry over.
They do some good forechecking. Here is a chance. Rebound in front. They tie it up. Larionov, the Soviet player, with his 15th, makes it 3-3.
And that carries over. There's no question. I would just continue on that spirit they had. And as I said, they were down by a couple. They came back. I looked at Steve Bozak's goal to bring them back 2-1, and from there, or 3-1, and I looked at the bench, and it picked up. They have good spirit here. There's Larionov. This guy has got the great eye-hand coordination with a guy hanging all over him. Timmy Waters hanging all over him. He was able to get his rebound and redirect it. The great Russian star, and of all the Russians that have been over here right now, they have said this guy has been the most positive, the most understanding, the most cooperative of all the other ones. And I don't mean to belittle the other ones, but he has done a very good job here. His stats don't show all his talents, but they will over a period of time.
Stan Smeel gets the assist, and it's all tied up with the third Canuck goal of the night at the 6:30 mark of period number 2. Larionov told me before the game also that he is going to, fans want a penalty there, not as forthcoming. He's going to spend most of this offseason in Vancouver. May go back to Kiev for a month, but that's about all. He loves Canada and Vancouver.
Well, he's been a good sort of a citizen there. He's making a real concerted effort to be involved in this team, their customs, the culture, everything else.
And the language. He's done a pretty good job with English. All right, John Tonelli now, as the Kings have to regroup. They have seen a 3-goal lead dissipate. Here is Crowder on the ice with Tonelli, Krushelnytsky, and Duchesne out there, as the Canucks now playing a much more fired-up brand of hockey, suddenly rejuvenated with a quick pair of goals to get right back into a tie.
So I said that Steve Bozak's goal to bring him up to 3-1. If it had been 3-0 going in the period, it would have been a different thing. But again, I just saw that whole bench jump up, and it's carried over. It's not counting to count these people off.
Here's Mike Allison breaking out now with McSorley and Casper. Pass too far for Steve Casper in the corner, being watched in behind the net by Larry Anna. He just scored that third Vancouver goal. Butcher on the near boards. Canucks doing a much better job of clearing all of a sudden since they're back in this hockey game. Here's Reinhardt now bringing it across the line. Makes his pass, hopped over Adams' stick. Adams in the corner sidesteps a check, then goes in to dig for it. Coming up to the 9-minute mark of this period, the second tied at 3. Quick backhand shot drifts wide from Lariana. Soviet players still cruising in there as they contain it back at the point. Here's a high slap shot off the stick of Nordmark, high over top of the Los Angeles net. Back come the Kings. A little bit taken back now by Vancouver's spirited comeback in this period.
That emotion is so important. That rhythm, that tempo of the game is so important. You're going to say, did Vancouver come back, or LA thought it was going to be a little easy?
The ebb and the flow certainly going in Vancouver's direction here now. Battle of the only two West Coast teams currently in the National Hockey League, and that word currently is apt with expansion on the horizon. Here's a chance around the net. Still loose out in front there. Canucks can't get a good shot away, and finally the Kings pounce on it and clear with Gretzky bringing it out. Checked inside the blue line, and now the Canucks bring it back to center ice. Kick it down to the Los Angeles zone, approaching the midway mark in this period and the midway point of the hockey game. 3-3 is the score. Shots on goal, 19-13, favoring LA at this point. Tim Waters now in a battle with Dan Quinn. Waters wins it, leaves it for Gretzky. Slides it inside the blue line, delayed offside, snaps with it back for Vancouver. Makes his lead pass. Smeel with it, right in front, cleared across the goal mouth. They have tested Rudy time and time again. Quinn with snaps, they bang away. Smeel gets turned around in the corner, carries on in behind the net, working against Larry Robinson. Now the Kings back with it to the blue line. Long lead pass, almost got up there for Thomas Sandstrom, just failed to click. End to end they go. The Canucks with a chance. Lariana leaving it there for Sandlak. Sandlak can't make the play. Back come the Kings. Sandstrom, rink-wide pass for Duchesne. Bats it down off the referee. Stays just off the boards. And the Canucks clear.
One thing Vancouver's done, they started to double shift the Quinn line and Lariana line. A little more tempo, a little more rhythm.
Well, with the score tied, Los Angeles 3, Vancouver 3. Let's pause for a regional break. Suddenly, we have a hockey game on our hands here. A 3-3 tie in Los Angeles. The Canucks desperate for a win to stay in the playoff hunt, keep their faint hopes alive, battling the team they have to beat out for a playoff spot, the Los Angeles Kings. Oh, heavy action down there in the corner as bodies go flying, but the play carries right on. They simply lost their balance. It was Waters against Vancouver's Lonnie Stern. Stern already losing that first-round fight earlier. And they whistle it down for an icing call as again Tepper's flare beside McLean, the Vancouver goalie. Stern in the thick of it once again.
Stern and Jay Miller going at it all night long, and again Ronnie Stern knows what he has to do to make this hockey club, to help this hockey club, and you've got to give him a lot of credit because he's not picking an easy customer in Jay Miller.
I wouldn't ask for a rematch if I were Stern, having seen the first bout.
No, that's right. Jay got the best of no question. But I think I mentioned at the time, those things have a way of building on themselves. Not that you win, but you don't take any steps backward. And I think Vancouver started to move from that point on. Made a little note, little mark on my note card that to watch that momentum from that point, I think Vancouver started to say, hey, here's a guy that's going to throw his heart out there, and nothing will happen until you throw your heart on that ice, and then your talents and your bodies will follow. Saw that Ronnie Stern take that LA defenseman very heavily into the boards there. That has a great effect on a hockey club.
And Quinn wins the face-off for Vancouver. Quick shot, blocked, still in the zone. The Kings finally clear to center. Much of Los Angeles momentum taken away by Vancouver's big comeback here early in the third period. Krushelnyski could not continue. In the second period it is right now, of course, 8 minutes to go. Back to the blue line of the Kings and back to center ice for Vancouver's Strico. Rolls it toward Kelly Rudy. Steers it off for Steve Duchesne. Now Duchesne will test the waters on the left side. Brings it to center ice. Across the ice he goes. Weaving. Quick shot. Blocked by McLean. And no rebound there. Steered carefully off to the corner. Still loose though. Tonelli with a chance. Almost pounced on a loose puck. Now Krushelnyski in the corner trying to make his play. Gets a second chance. Skates beside the goal. Lobs it in front. Has it just turned back at the last second. Back come the Canucks. Play is whistled down in behind, though, by referee Paul Stewart.
Got to mention something that what Vancouver's doing, they're taking their top two lines, Quinn, Larionov, and getting them a little bit more ice time this period. Again, another thing they're doing, they're collapsing. When I talked about before, they're playing a very strict man-to-man coverage in their zone. Now the weak side defenseman in front of the net, there he is right now, is looking around. You see the other people ready to cave in and help out. Again, it gives a little bit more of a combination between a man-for-man and a box type of thing in your defensive zone, and then you can cover up for one another without having one mistake cost everybody.
For some reason, the clock was ticking down before that puck was dropped in that last faceoff. I don't know what happened there. A couple of extra seconds have gone by the boards, but the Kings now have it as they bring it forward. Thomas Sandstrom, one of the ex-New York Rangers, tries to get the pass back, hops over his stick, back to the corner again. Sandstrom just bought a house before he was traded. Isn't it always the way? He spent the summer back in New York trying to sell it. A battle on the far boards. Snaps now. Getting it ahead for the Canucks. Adams inside the line. Back for Larionov. And back to center ice for the Kings. Gretzky. Circling, dictating the pace of the play. McSorley. Gretzky. Shot goes wide. The great one again from in behind. Centering it. Gets a second chance. He watched by two Canucks, but kept in by Marty McSorley. At least on the delayed offside. The Canucks will bring it out now to center ice. 6.5 minutes to go in the period.
Notice Gretzky taking a little shorter shift before you stay out there a long time. When they're going to him 35, 40 minutes a game, they're going to say, listen, we want to use that full bench, and I think it's really made an effect on the overall tempo of Los Angeles play.
Taylor trying to find Robitaille, rolls it in front. Robitaille overskates the attempt. Now the Canucks. Quinn down the left boards, played a solid game. He has a goal for the Vancouver Canucks, their second of the night. Two quick ones here in the second period. And tied this game at 3. Los Angeles almost dictating the play at will earlier, not doing that now, but a great scoring chance there as Ellick got right on top of McLean, who was equal to it. Long pass right side, just too far. Still couldn't catch up with it. Canucks keeping it in the Los Angeles zone. They were not doing much of that earlier.
Pretty good flow right now, Chevy. It's end to end. They're trying to win that race to that red line, and both teams are really head-manning that puck.
Robitaille gets it back. Soft shot, handled easily by McLean, who has blocked 22 Los Angeles shots tonight. Canucks have 15 at the other end, and Kelly Rudy.
Vancouver's playing a much smarter game in the neutral zone. They're reading the play at the offensive blue line a lot better. And again, they've got a lot better rhythm. It's sort of an offensive rush to a forecheck to a back check.
And Duchesne with the rush right on top of McLean. Play is whistled down as they push and shove beside and behind the Vancouver net. It remains the Kings 3 and the Canucks 3. Kurt McLean tested along with Kelly Rudy tonight. Each man has given up 3 goals. McLean, Vancouver's representative in the All-Star game. Rudy, as we mentioned earlier, coming off a brief bout with mononucleosis and looks to be right back in fine health tonight.
An interesting guy out there when you look at Harold Snep's last 20 games of his long, illustrious career in the National Hockey League. I say illustrious, and not so much in his numbers that he's put on the board, but illustrious because of his charisma and his chemistry that he's brought to each and every club. And he's provided something with this thing, and he was telling them today that, listen, the one thing we've got to salvage is our pride, and we can't go into the summer knowing that we missed a stride in the last couple of weeks here.
Here he is now without the helmet at center ice, forcing to play ahead for Vancouver. Quinn with it now, looking for snaps in front, can't get it to him, and the Kings clear. Chance for Tony Granato. Leaves it inside the line for McSorley. Back for Kuchelniski. His shot deflected off target left side. Granato on the boards for checking. Shot back into the Canucks zone. Now steps with it, brings it ahead to center ice.
Talk about Harold. I think it was a big game that Vancouver had. They got beat 8-1. Out of frustration, they took Harold out of the press box, put him in the lineup. They won the next 4. They struggled a little bit since then, but it gave them a little, ray of hope. And sometimes it's not who you are and what stage you are, but all the intangibles you bring to the bench in the locker room.
Quinn for Striko. Striko watched by Casper, ridden off into the Los Angeles corner. Now up against the boards. Puck still loose in there. They dig it free. Back with the point, intercepted, and out to center ice it comes. Kreider now with a chance. One-on-one coming in, fakes the shot. He'll wait for some help instead. Makes his pass for Casper. Casper gets tangled up with the referee, Stewart. Carries on, getting away from Butcher's check. And the Canucks clear to center ice. About 3.5 minutes to go in a 3-3 tie here in period 2. Butcher past Gretzky. Waters with it out at center ice. Now the great one carries on, brings it back inside the line. He's got Sandstrom with him, floats a little lazy, passed through, and the rebound was there, but Sandstrom couldn't get to it.
One thing Thomas Sandstrom will do for you, he'll go to the net, he'll work in traffic. He plays very good in those physical situations.
Capuano on the near boards for Vancouver. Later the Pittsburgh Penguins getting brief ice time tonight. Forced ahead by Sandstrom, now shot back down the ice by Vancouver. That is going to be called for icing as Larry Robinson, the ex-Montreal Canadian great, comes back to pick it up. We have 2:58 to play in the period in a 3-3 tie. Shots on goal don't quite tell at all. The Kings got the advantage, but much of that piled up in the first period. They got 13 shots then. The Canucks have made a big comeback here and tied this game at 3.
Steve Bozak's goal, making it 3-1 that first period, was a big moment for Vancouver.
Rolled right across the goal crease. And, of course, denying the Kings the 4th goal was the second moment. The third, the ability of the Canucks to come back and get 2 of their own to tie it at 3 in the second period. Puck still loose in that zone. Bang away. Gretzky can't get to it. Then takes a check. It's thundered down to the ice by the Soviet player Larionov. More of a collision than anything. Fans here booing about it. No penalty called. Gretzky takes the long lead pass inside the line. They poke it back to center ice again. Now the Canucks, left by Adams, the drop pass, whistle down at the blue line. They will face off just outside the Los Angeles line.
Look at the helmet there, Robert Nordmark, that came over in a trade from St. Louis. They're looking for some big things from the Swedish defenseman. Just a matter of time that he becomes acclimated. And again, he had a little one-on-one with Gretzky just inside that blue line. But here's an interesting thing, said, this is one way, Mr. Gretzky, that we're going to defend you.
That's the only way to contain him.
I'm just going to grab you, throw a blanket over him. But that's Nordmark. So we haven't seen the likes of you in Sweden, so I have to find some way. And there's all of a sudden how Nordmark lost his helmet. Gretzky's looking around and said, wait a minute, I can take so much, but I need a little help here from the referee.
Well, he got some help of Ariana for taking him down, but no penalty was called on that play. So Gretzky had a rough time inside the Canucks zone. A little over 2 minutes to go in the second period of a 3-3 tie. Bouncing free at the blue line. Now back to center ice. Down to the Canucks corner. Alec pursuing it in behind. Can't get to it. And Lidster brings it up the ice. Beck wins the race from Smeel, likely in his last season. The Vancouver veteran. Not scored a goal since April the 2nd of last year, the Canucks captain. He is overdue. McSorley left side. Rolls it into the Canucks corner, then is taken down. Stewart's arm is up. There'll be a penalty on the play. And sticks go high, and tempers go higher in behind the Canucks goal.
Marty McSorley going coast to coast in that situation. He's trying to dance through the Vancouver defense. He spun around a few years ago. I don't know if Marty could have tiptoed through that thing, but he did quite a job. And again, as I said earlier, not to be redundant, this guy has worked hard at his game day after day, extra time, everything else. Now watch him spin around there. Dougie Litzer got his stick in between his feet, but Marty says, if I'm going to go through traffic, I'm going to dance and I'm going to spin out. Maybe I'll draw a penalty, and that's just what happened. Look at Dougie Litzer there, former Colorado College athlete, played with the Canadian Olympic team. He developed into a fine National Hockey League defenseman.
It's nailed for holding, and that's about the last thing the Canucks want here at this stage with this score, with their record in killing off power plays, the worst in the National Hockey League.
You talk about times of scoring, you talk about times of taking penalties. This is one right now. In the last minute 25 of the second period, tie game. Kings would like nothing more to capitalize on this opportunity to go into that locker room facing the third period up by 1. Big turning point, and there are only so many of those in the game, and this is one of them.
One of those big 4-point games in pursuit of a playoff spot. If the Kings win, Vancouver will be 16 points out of it, and really, in reality, out of it all the way. If they win, though, they'll be a dozen points down. Still slim prospects, but still better hope than if they should lose this. But right now, they got to hold off this power play opportunity as the Kings bring it up to center ice. Duchesne with a shot to the corner. McLean tips it back to the other corner. Butcher in there for it, can't get to it. Try to get it across to Steve Duchesne. Here, winding Duchesne, shooting, blocked by McLean. Headed in his sights all the way, and cleared by Vancouver down the ice with 53 seconds left in the period.
Vancouver's not too aggressive killing this penalty. Maybe one will go at him, such as we'll see there. The other three are going to peel off, try to take the middle of the ice away from them, try to stack them up at their defensive blue line.
Johnson only leaves it there. The pass across for Thomas Sandstrom right in front. Oh, and they couldn't get it to Robinson, who'd gone too far. Sandstrom behind the net. Gretzky waits to make his play. Does. Back to Duchesne. Duchesne makes the pass beside. Relayed in front. Duchesne again. Can't hold it. 17 seconds to go in the period. Kings must reorganize. 10 seconds to go. Robinson detoured by Butcher. And the Canucks will kill this part of the power play, would appear, here in the second period. It'll still be 35 seconds of the third period, with which they will be a man short, but they did a pretty good job there with the time remaining in the second period. So it remains a tie hockey game here after 2 with the score, LA 3 and Vancouver 3. We now pause for a regional break. There is the Saddle Dome in Calgary, as seen from the roof of our producer John Shannon's house. And tomorrow night, that'll be the site of the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers. Herb Brooks will be there. It'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on many of these Sports Channel outlets. Watch for it. Big game tomorrow night.
That will be, Don, a big game in a great building and a great race in that Smythe division.
And the third period underway here for the race to the final playoff spot. Vancouver, of course, can ill afford to lose this game, let alone any other game the rest of the way. 15 left for the Canucks after the ninth. They start this period tied at 3 with the Los Angeles Kings. Just 10 seconds left on the Canucks penalty. Kings unable to score in this power play as Vancouver killed off a minute 25 of that, ending in the second period, and now have killed off another penalty. Canucks are back at full strength again. In come the Kings, however. Shot just drifts wide from Sandstrom, looking for a second goal of the night.
Thomas Sandstrom had that short side lined up, and he just missed it. And again, the first period of this period is very important. The first 5 minutes is very important for both clubs.
Back comes Gretzky now. His slap shot goes wide, far side, all the way back to center ice.
That play right there is atypical Gretzky. He doesn't take that shot. It's a bad angle shot. He'll spin out, look for trailers, and I think everybody looked for that, and he thought he would shoot it to just keep everybody honest.
And he will make the play rather than take that shot, as you suggest. Into the corner. They battle away in the Los Angeles zone. Tied at 3 early in this third period now, in the second minute of it. Canucks have made quite a comeback tonight, down 3-0. Almost a chance to go up the goal right there and hopped over Skriko's stick. Whistle down is the play, and they will face off with a penalty coming up. In the box, Dan Quinn for tripping. 1:27 in. Again, that's a bad penalty at a bad time for the Canucks at this stage. Rudy leaving it behind his net. Remember, while not burned tonight, the Canucks have the worst record in penalty killing in the National Hockey League. And in come the Los Angeles Kings. Robitaille in his 300th NHL game. Can't hold the puck in behind. Brought up by Sutter. And down to the Los Angeles zone.
One thing that Vancouver's going to have to do, they're going to have to change their forwards a little faster, and they just did it there because Bozak and Sutter, killing him earlier, were staying out a little bit too long, and they were getting in a little trouble. I'm sure the coaches mentioned that to him because they came off at the right time.
Duchesne shoots it in. Kings dig in after it there. Alec getting it out in front of the goal. Now to the point for Duchesne. Soft shot, drifts wide. Robitaille in the corner with it. Plays it in behind the net. They fail to center it out. Comes back for Duchesne, left point. Now moves in a little closer, feeds it across the ice. Winding is McSorley, and he shot it wide.
Talk about using the full bench. You see right here, LA's power play minus Gretzky.
Dave Taylor is on instead, and the Canucks send it back to center.
My point, and as we all know what we think about Wayne Gretzky, but what it does is picks up the whole bench because they all feel involved. They got a job they can do and something kids contribute.
Now he comes on the middle of the power play with now 37 seconds left in, and Rudy leading it beside his net for Duchesne. A sluggish attempt at a goal here on the power play, to say the least, by the Kings, and now bring it forward. Robinson rushing with it out of the corner, pursues it after shooting it in. Pass McLean around to the near boards. Sandstrom battling for it there. Robinson centering it and cleared by Sutter back to center ice. 15 seconds left in Quinn's penalty.
Good job by Vancouver killing the penalty, especially by Sutter and Bozak. They're off, they come back, and they get on. They're getting their shifts, but they're a little more intelligent right now.
Sandstrom shooting it around. McLean gets a piece off to the far corner. It goes. The penalty has expired now. Quinn is back, and the Canucks have killed off another penalty. You'd never know they had the worst record in the league off their penalty-killing performance tonight, surely. Passed ahead for Krushelnyski. Krushelnyski off the boards for Gretzky to Sandstrom. Sandstrom kneeling, recollects the puck. Winds, shoots. Up goes the glove of McLean. Blocks one. Loose puck still inside the zone. Off Laidlaw's stick. He can't control it. And the linesman prevented it from going back in. The Canucks bring it down. 2-on-2. They come inside the line. Here's the pass for Smear. Can't get it to him. Bumping in the corner. Quinn going in there. Smear tries to help him out. Now Larionov going in as he comes to the far side for Waters. Waters ahead for Gretzky. Leaves it there at center ice. Kings having trouble going into forward gear right now. Tim Waters with it. He can't clear. Canucks forechecking well. Here's the chance. Oh, Smear looking for his first goal in almost a year. Very close to having one right there. Here's Gretzky back with the 5-move inside. Taken down. The Kings carry on. McLean with a stop. Rebound. Duchesne couldn't get the shot away. Or it was Miller with a chance. And now he'll go into the corner after it.
Got to tip your hat to the Vancouver Canucks because there's a cause and effect here of this game sort of tilting in their favor is how they answered the bell when they were down 2-0.
They've answered it royally. Chance in front, taken down as Capuano, used sparingly tonight. 5 minutes gone in the final period, still tied at 3. Ever since Vancouver's 2 quick goals in the second dropped them even, that's the way it stayed.
LA is doing something different now of recent over the last few games in neutral zone. They're only forechecking one guy. They're trying to be in a little bit more of a prevent defense, Chevy, trying to create the manpower advantage from the red line back to their defensive blue line and all the way into the net.
Larionov makes the play inside the blue line. Snap shoots it down to the corner. And quickly cleared all the way back to the Vancouver zone with Alec in pursuit. Forcing Butcher back. Harold steps. Leveled by a check from veteran Dave Taylor right in front of his own goal. The crowd love that. Good clean check, no penalty on the play. Canucks bring it inside the zone. Here's the shot blocked by Rudy.
Two guys that might be in their last year of competition in the National Hockey League. Dave Taylor has had a good career putting the puck away, and Harold Stepp had a good career keeping it out. Big hit by Dave Taylor.
Now Skriko for Rudy, passed his stick in behind the goal, coming up on 7 minutes of this third period, still tied at 3.
The thing Vancouver forwards do in their forechecking thing, there's a lot of stick checking. They don't take the body such as Dave Taylor did right there on Harold Steps.
Here's the drop pass for Granato. Instead, here is the quick shot by John Tonelli. Robinson with it now, being hounded by Sutter. Robinson looks to make a play, does to Tonelli on the near side. He couldn't get a good shot away, and the Canucks bring it back to center ice. Robbins intercepts the pass for Sutter, but the Canucks carry it right on inside. Larionov going in and scoring. The Vancouver Canucks take the lead. That was Capuano putting it in. It's 4-3 for Vancouver.
Oh, Davey Capuano. Here's a young guy out of the University of Maine. Good size, great vision, good hand, eye coordination. And again, they're saying he was a key guy in a trade coming over from Pittsburgh. They had to have him to make that trade. He makes a great move again, just going to the outside, coming back in. This is things that he used to do at University of Maine. He stiffed everybody there. He got Kelly Rudy just where he wanted him. And again, just tucked it under his arm. Guy that's his third goal this year as a rookie. And again, if he can play, he's going to give them that big center iceman they're looking for.
He has not had much ice time tonight, but he's made the most of it there, giving Vancouver the go-ahead goal. Now the Canucks in some pressure inside their own zone. He scores on the first shot of the period for Vancouver, still trailing in shots 28-18, but ahead where it counts in the hockey game at 4-3. Cavalli now intercepting off the Soviet player Larionov at the blue line, brings it ahead to center ice, still hounded by Igor. Now they get it ahead. Renato down the near boards. He's turned around by Lidster. Tonelli keeps it in play. Nice forechecking inside the line, brings it to Beck. Flipping it down for Gretzky, couldn't get it to him. And the Canucks simply steer it back down the ice, head for the bench. They will change on the go, as do the LA Kings.
You know, down and looking at this morning's skate by Vancouver, I thought I was going to see a Morg out there, but they had a spirited workout. Again, trying to keep that attitude up, make progress each and every night out there. You've got to give credit to the coaches for hanging in there, and also some of the veteran leaders, especially Harold Snepps, because he's been very instrumental, you know, trying to keep everybody together, pointing it towards the right direction.
Well, it's a team that has taken a big setback for promising finish last year within an inch, a goalpost, actually, of upsetting Calgary in the first round of the playoffs. Lost the 7th game of that series in overtime. Of course, the Flames go on to win it all, and you had high hopes for Vancouver. They have high hopes here now. Here's a chance by Reinhart. Hard shot. He's had a couple of those tonight, and blocked again nicely by Kelly Rudy from point-blank range.
When you talk about the leaders, you really got to talk about number 23, Paul Reinhart.
Here's a break for Gretzky. He's got Allison with him. To Allison. No, he couldn't get it. He was fading back on the play offline. Couldn't get the open net in his target. And that was almost a tie hockey game right there.
Well, Mike Allison played it right. He tried to set up that, try to shoot off the pass, but it just handcuffed him just enough. But he had the wide open net.
Now Sandstrom working hard all night long, patrols those near boards. Butcher tries to dig it free for Vancouver. Kings fail to contain it, and the Canucks shoot it down the ice. Icing is the indication as Laidlaw collects it, and they will have a face-off back in the Vancouver zone. It's 4-3 for the Canucks midway in the third. There's Pat Quinn, former coach with the Kings, now the president and GM of the Vancouver Canucks. Caused quite a stir, of course, when he left to go to Vancouver a few years ago. He's the man in charge of this Vancouver operation. His team ahead by a goal now. Kings look to get it back in the midsection of Rudy in the breadbasket. He hangs onto it there as they jostle again in front of the goal, with McLean having made that big save. And he keeps it out. With 10:45 to go in the third period, Vancouver clings to playoff life, as slim as it may be, with a 4-3 lead here over the Los Angeles Kings. They were down 3-0. Come back to 4 consecutive goals. Big shot there. A little juggling act by McLean. Bodies go flying in the far corner. Taylor bumping along the boards for Robitaille in behind. Swings around in front, falling on the play. Cleared to the near boards, and finally back to center ice by Vancouver. This is Sandlack with it. Lets his shot go, and just gloved by Rudy, deflected off target. Now Taylor from behind his own net. Turned back by Lariana. Robitaille. Into the Canucks end of the ice it goes once again. Crowder and Alec on the ice now. Kings coaches mixing their lines a little better. Shorter shifts, it would appear. As time wears down, less than 10 minutes of the third period. Near boards, Beck keeps it at play from the point for Robitaille. Gets turned around, carries on, looks to make his play, swings in front for the backhand attempt, steers it beside the goal, then goes down on the pile. Alec for McSorley across the ice, couldn't get it to him, and back comes Vancouver. Smeel with it. Long slap shot, high, hard drive, gloved by Rudy. Crowder makes the pass in front of his own net. Beck inside the line as Miller spins on the play. McLean from behind his own goal helps to clear to the line, but not out. Now Vancouver brings it out of there. Ronnie Stern with it. He is checked. Casper. End to end they go. That's been the pattern much of the night, off and on. Here's Granato with a chance. Quickly in front and steers it wide. Snaps tries to tie up Granato. Casper carries on. Loose puck in front. Cleared and back to center ice it comes.
Vancouver now is looking at the clock. 8:40 left. They're saying they're up.
Here's a chance for them to get an insurance goal now. Breakaway right in. It's 5-3 as Quinn gets his second of the night.
Just going to say their whole defensive posture has changed right now. They're up by one with 8:50 left. They're just going by one guy, and they're going to force them into mistakes and try to capitalize on mistakes. And that's just what happened there. They picked off an errant pass, a little turnover in the neutral zone right here. Larry Robinson looking up ice, but he didn't see Danny Quinn. Jumped into it, picked the thing off. Now it's a great classic one-on-one situation. Watch Danny Quinn, how he got the great body control. And he tried to shift him now, and Kelly Rudy's got to be up, back, and get to the pipe, and he was not able to get to the pipe. Goalie's got to get to that pipe, or else they're going to get out there. And Danny Quinn just gently but thoroughly tucked that into the short side.
Well, his arrival from Pittsburgh in that January 8th trade certainly helping to add some punch to Vancouver's scoring. That's his second of the night and his 21st of the season, giving Vancouver a 5-3 lead with 8.5 minutes left here. Quite a turnaround for the beleaguered Vancouver Canucks, coming from off a 3-0 deficit to lead by 2.
Right now they're in a real conservative checking game. They're play without the puck now. They're saying we're only going to sacrifice one guy. They're going to have 4 that you're going to have to beat, and you're going to have a lot of traffic at our defensive blue line.
Allison for Granato, and Sandstrom, but it is whistled down on the play. So with the score, Vancouver 5, Los Angeles 3 now. Let us pause for a regional break.
When you're the last man in the play, you got to make sure that you make the proper outlet pass. And Larry Robinson had a little blind spot, and you don't want to give this guy a one-on-one situation. Danny Quinn can put the puck away. He's got great individual skills. We saw it there as he just shifted. Kelly Rudy found that little short side and directed in. Big goal, up by 2. It's under 8 minutes left.
And the sellout crowd of 16,005, not happy campers at this stage. The home team has given up a 3-0 lead here, down 5-3 now. About 7.5 minutes to go, and being contained at the end of the ice by an alert, forechecking Vancouver team.
Exactly what they did. They're just sort of taking the crowd out of it, and also playing a very quiet game without the puck.
Here is Linden now with a chance. Into the near corner it goes. Larionov can't contain John Tonelli, freewheeling away at center ice, down the far side, squeezing into the Vancouver zone.
They're only going to sacrifice the second guy when there's a great opportunity. Other than that, they're only going to give up one. That's what I mean by quiet. Sort of a passive type of a forechecking game right now. Semi-aggressive type of game, and LA's having some trouble with it in the neutral zone.
Tonelli for Krushelnyski, and he's shot scored. 5-4.
That was a soft goal. There's no question about that. Bert McLean should stay on his feet. He did not have to go down. If he just stood up there, he had the angle. But by going down, he creates a problem in the 5-hole. Watch when he goes down. There's the puck. Nordmark played it right. McLean had the angle. Stand up on your feet. Krushelnyski had nothing but to do with the thing but eat it or take a bad angle shot. Now that's a soft goal, a goal that can pick up L.A. They're saying we're under 7 now, we're only down by 1, at home and outside. What it does also, Don, is get the crowd involved again. Those type of goals that Bob Kamenman's been talking about, too many soft goals that just take the wind out of your sails.
A bit of a gift, gets them within 1, and ever dangerous are the Kings. Kushoniski again brings it inside. McSorley, they battle around the net, still loose in there, and it's whistled out. Kushoniski's 11th goal of the season makes it 5-4.
The name of the game is win that race to the red line and get it up ice quick. You talk about headmanning the puck. There's a good case. That's what L.A. did to get the shot. It was a soft goal. It was a bad goal. But the key thing, L.A.'s made a couple of smart, quick passes to get the opportunity.
Those passes made by Tonelli and Gretzky on the assists. It is 5-4. 6.5 minutes to go. A wild hockey game. Looked to be a rout in the early minutes. And the Canucks refuse to die. Their playoff hopes fading. They have battled back gamely, but now I've got a battle on their hands. Ahead by just 1. Here's some pressure. Robitaille across for Duchesne. Backhand shot. He was off the net, but gloved anyway by McLean.
Well, right now, Vancouver should start thinking, I've got to slow the pace down. I'm going to, change one guy after another. I want to start taking the crowd, put them to sleep. I want to take L.A. and put them to sleep. I'm going to slow everything down. Maybe take the extra face-off if I have a good face-off man. All right? And I'm going to start thinking maybe taking an early timeout because I've got enough goals here to win. But I'm sure that Bob McGammon and his coaching staff are thinking along the same lines. But L.A.'s got a little momentum now. Take it away from them somehow.
That last point, by the way, the assist by Gretzky gives them a total of 122 for the season, puts them ahead of the ailing Mario Lemieux, with Lemieux expected to be out for at least the regular season. Wayne looks to be a lock now for the scoring championship once again. He leads and will stay there, no doubt. The Canucks lead 5-4, 6 minutes and 5 seconds left now. No question that goal has stung them. They are not controlling the play as they were just a few minutes ago. Here's Granato now getting taken down hard beside the Vancouver net. And it's brought back by Ronnie Stern. Stern getting it to Capuano. Capuano being forced off in the corner by Sandstrom. Robinson takes it from there. Here's Duchesne. Swings inside the Canucks zone. Takes his pass to Gretzky in the corner. Steered in front. Is it in the net? No, it's in behind. In the net instead goes the goaltender, and now Stewart is going to call a penalty. And the Canucks are outraged. Kirk McLean, sitting up now, was slapped in his back a moment ago, shaken up on that last play. The net off its moorings, and Capuano gets 2 minutes for cross-checking and a very bad time in this hockey game.
Capuano had a little goal with Thomas Sandstrom way in his offensive zone. He gave Thomas Sandstrom a pretty good shot, but he's coming back hard right now, and he's got to get somebody, and he just takes him hard into the net. McLean goes right with him.
That was Tony Granato with a straight left that drove him in there.
Well, again, Capuano was just livid on that situation. He's looking at Paul Stewart. He says, wait a minute, I'm a New England guy, and you're a New England guy. You're calling that type of play on me right now. I'm a rookie. I'm trying to fight for my life, for a job here to help this hockey club. I make a great one-on-one shift there, get a goal, and now you give me that.
They don't get the call on Granato, which they might well have done.
Yeah, but he's going to see him this summer. You mark my word. But Paul Stewart, again, he does what he has to do. That was his call, and you're not going to overrule him.
You would think, Herb, the law of averages has got to catch up with the Vancouver Canucks. Worst penalty-killing team. We've talked about that in the league, but tonight they have been perfect. L.A. 0 for 4. But that's stretching a point right now with the potency of the Kings' power play, which ranks 7th in the league.
Key thing for Vancouver, again, is those forwards changing fast so they can keep constant, intelligent pressure on L.A.'s power play unit.
The Canucks quickly clear to get a few precious seconds off that clock. 150 in the penalty, 5:20 in the hockey game.
There's a good example of how important defensive zone faceoffs are. They won it, Vancouver won it, and they found a way out.
Larry Robinson bounces one to the Vancouver corner. Now they move to the power play attack mode. Back it comes for Steve Duchesne from Sandstrom. Into the corner again. Krushelnyski lets it roll to Gretzky. Back to Krushelnyski up the boards for Sandstrom now. To the point. Duchesne contains it there. Feeds it across. Here is the shot by Robinson. Still alive. Back to Larry Robinson. Down for number 99 behind the net. And off Sandstrom, sticking back to center ice. The Kings must regroup.
Right now, I don't like that Sutter and Bozak are out there. They're too long, and they're not going to be fresh. They've got to get off the ice quickly, or LA is just going to make them pay for it.
Fans a little frustrated here as the Kings are taking their time working inside the line. Now they do. Robinson fights to keep it in play. Sandstrom backs him on the point. Get it down to the corner. Krushelnyski in front. Robinson now beside the net for Gretzky in behind. He'll come the other way. Change his mind a third time. Digs it out. Here's the shot blocked off of the near boards. Robinson for Gretzky. 31 seconds left on the power play. Walks in front with it for Sandstrom, and it was blocked by McLean somehow. He kept it out.
McLean should freeze that puck. Don't give it right back to him. He's got to stop the play.
17 seconds of the power play. Sandstrom for Gretzky in behind. Steps checks him, but the Kings still have possession on the stick of Steve Duchesne. 5 seconds of the power play. Now Robinson for Gretzky in behind again. Vancouver is back at full strength now. Gretzky forced to the near boards. And the Canucks have killed a 5th consecutive power play. High lob shot is blocked. They've done a marvelous job here with 3:18 to go in the game. They protected their 1-goal lead.
Right now, I'd take time out if I'm Vancouver. I just get myself settled in right now and talk about the next 3 minutes. They did a good job. They got a little tired, but I'd take a time out.
Here come the Kings again. A booming shot by Dave Taylor is handled. Now McSorley from the far boards for Robitaille behind for Taylor, for Alec across the goal crease. Off the top of the net. Robitaille rolled it up on the top and in behind it went. Hard shot. McLean got a piece of that short side. Kings doing everything but score in that sequence.
That's what I'm talking about. I'd take a timeout now. I'd slow this thing down. I'd get LA looking at the clock and get them. I'd sort of ice them, so to speak, as using a basketball term. But don't meet them head on right now because you're going to play right in their hands.
In they come again. Wave after wave. This one, though, is turned back by number 16, Trevor Linden. Killing some valuable time inside the Kings line. Taken off the puck. Now it's picked up by Todd Alec. 2:15 to go in the hockey game, and back come the Kings. McSorley for Granato. In behind the net, looking for the centering pass from Robitaille. Out it comes to Marty McSorley. And they get no decent shot on goal there as the Canucks come back up the ice. Larian off, and here's the shot going wide from the far side. Near boards now, kept in play by Nordmark, the big Swedish defenseman. Smear from center ice shoots it in. Both teams tired, changing on the go. 1:40 left. There'll be an icing call. Face-off coming back in the Los Angeles zone as the Kings get called with a minute 34 remaining.
Well, that was a break for Vancouver when Marty McSorley iced the puck. That's going to give him a little breather. But again, I'm going to have to play the clock. I'm going to have to play the score. Again, I would just put all the pressure on LA by taking that time out.
Well, you know, we talked about the 1980 Olympic victory. Cute story. I'll tell it partially. It involves you as we look at this replay again here.
You watch that Gretzky as he comes walking from behind the net, and he's got an ideal guy that can penetrate that box, and Thomas Sandstrom, big and strong, will take his hits. They get a little break, no question. Goalie's best friend there climbs up, hits the top of the net, drops over. Luc Robitaille has a great opportunity with a guy hanging all over him.
So close. You were the last cut of the 1960 Olympic team, right? They go on to win. Jack McCartan, the goaltender, sitting nearby us tonight. What did your dad say when the U.S., as you watched on television with him, won the gold medal?
Well, my father, God rest his soul, was one of those things. If a coach says something, that's the law. If a teacher said something, that's the law. If the neighbor guy said something, that's the law. And anyway, I got cut. My father says, keep your mouth shut, thank the coach, wish your teammates well, get home so they win it. I'll be real quick. They win it. Watch it on television. He looks at me and he had a little sip of a libation. He said, well, guess the coach cut the right guy, didn't he?
Oh, dear.
He said, there's other days, and I had a chance to play in a couple other ones, never won anything like that, but little did I think that I'd be coaching a thing, and I had to make some of those same decisions, and was a hard thing to do.
Yep, hard thing to do, but you got the glory 20 years later from the coaching end of it. 1:18 to go here. The Canucks, very big win in store for them, but they can keep the Kings at bay here the rest of the way. But Los Angeles consistently in the Vancouver zone. Here's a shot just turned aside by the side of the goal. And again, the Canucks doing a nice job of clearing. A minute left in the hockey game now. Sandlak, as again he skates to the bench, changing on the go, relieved by Steve Bozak. He's got one of the Vancouver goals, got them rolling with the first goal tonight. Time running out of the Kings as Casper brings it ahead at center ice. Goretzky pursuing the flip into the corner. Can't get there in time. Canucks hustling with every ounce of energy they have left in them in pursuit of a win here. Trying to keep the Kings at bay. Whistle down in the face-off circle with 31 seconds left.
Vancouver's got to understand, which I think they do in a normal situation. This is abnormal now when you haven't won too much. You only won 3 games within your division. Trying to stay alive here. Sometimes your emotions get carried away from you, but they've got to protect the puck better. They've got to force some face-offs. And if they're deep in the zone, don't try to tip it and clear the thing out, because L.A., with the pressure they're putting on, was coming up with a loose puck and keeping the pressure on them. Sandlak had an opportunity to freeze it, and he elected to clear it, and he didn't clear it. Rich Sutter had a chance to freeze it along the boards, and he elected to clear it, didn't clear it. But anyway, those are the things that'll drive a coach to start thinking. And we look at Bob McCammon. He's been through a lot of situations right there. And I think that if we could read his mind, read his lips, see if we can pick that up right now.
With a timeout not called by McCammon, but by the Kings. Rader and Wilson, their 2 assistant coaches, running the show tonight. With 31 seconds left, they take the break, they force the face-off in the circle to the right of goalie Kirk McLean.
Well, if you're up and you're on the road, I'd take the timeout, because I'd use the clock myself. But everybody has a little different opinion. Defensive zone face-offs are very important. Now all of a sudden they're taking that guy upstairs, Mike Murphy. They're talking to him. Who is our best face-off man tonight? How are they doing against Stevie Casper, who is going to take this draw here for L.A.?
Canucks have won some big face-off. They win another one right there as the puck rolls to the corner. Lidster in behind his own goal. They jam it in front, though, still loose. Pass to Steve Duchesne, winding for the shot. Trickles through but wide. 20 seconds left now. White jerseys everywhere. Rudy out of the goal. The extra attacker is on the ice for the Kings. They can't keep it in, though. 12 seconds back to center ice. 11 now, 10. Here's a chance for Vancouver to ice it, and they do. An open net goal gives Quinn a hat trick, and the Canucks a very important victory over the Kings of Los Angeles.
Well, number 7 again. One of his strengths outside of being a great individual skills is his ability to maybe read the play and look where that puck is going to go. And he read that one as he read Larry Robinson's turnover. He saw it there, and he's trying to say, this guy's going to put it on his backhand. I'm going to take it away. And he got a little help there. That thing went off the pipe and jumped in. And a big reaction here by that Vancouver bench. These wins are extremely important.
As the assistant coach, Jack McElharty there, celebrating the empty net goal by Dan Quinn to give him the hat trick. Time runs out, but not the hopes of the Vancouver Canucks, who stay alive. One of those important 4-point games we talked about. Had they lost this, they would have been 16 points back, with still having played 2 games more than the Los Angeles Kings. A virtually impossible situation. As it stands now, they are 12 points back. A tough situation, but not impossible.